Hi, good morning. So today is day 40 since I did my water fast. I've not been water fasting for 40 days, but it's day 40 from when I started my water fast. And I wanted to update you guys because basically when I got home, I've been super busy with my family. You know, I have a 7-month-old baby and a 3-year-old, and so my life is very different than when I was in Sedona doing my water fast. But I wanted to give you guys an update. So first of all, I woke up this morning, and for a few moments when I had first woken up, I had forgotten that I had breast cancer, and then when I remembered, you know, it was just different, you know. I could just feel how carefree and light I felt before I remembered. So I just feel some sadness about that. And then I was in yoga this morning, and when I was in yoga, I was looking in the mirror, and honestly, I look great. And I look great, I think, because of doing the water fast. My body really let go a lot of toxins, as well as, you know, some of the toxins that were stored in my fat that left, and I just felt like a lot of ease in my yoga practice, and I just feel like I'm honestly like doing better than ever. And it's really hard for me to say that because I'm like, oh, I'm doing better than ever, like, because but I have cancer, you know, and because I have cancer, like, I went and did this water fast, and I'm like really being very disciplined about my diet, and my husband has just been just so wonderful, you know. My husband just does laundry, and my husband just does dishes and just does like all these things that I've been begging him for years. I've been like, look, I need help. Like, I cannot cook and clean and do all the things, and like, you know, I can't. It's hard for me not to have resentment against my husband, because ultimately, if I knew that I needed more help, then like that was my responsibility to get that help, and I did hire some help. But the thing is my first child was born 6 months before the pandemic. So it was really hard to get help outside the house. But, you know, had I known the price I might have been paying, you know, I could have done it myself anyways. At least, like, you know, like finding help. Like I could have said like, no, like I'm going to find someone no matter what I have to do, to find someone to get in here and help me or whatever. And as soon as the pandemic ended, like, I was able to do that very easily. I started hiring a housekeeper and all these things, but like while we were in the middle of the pandemic, it was just so hard. But now my husband is he's the husband I always wished he would have been, and I'm able to actually like have a balanced life where I can caretake my children and caretake myself, because my husband is showing up more. And so I just feel so bittersweet, because, you know, I feel like I'm doing better in my life than I ever have before, but I also have cancer. So what's up with that? Super silly. Yes, baby? Yeah, what? You want time out? You want to come out? Okay, walk over to that door, and I'll go open that door for you, okay? 1 second. So anyways, enough about that. I'm here at Monkey Business, trying to get some stuff done. So the thing is even though I'm not water fasting anymore, I'm still doing a lot of things. One thing I noticed was, and I said this in a previous video, which is when I was water fasting, I was able to like extract some like leftover milk out of my breast that it was red, and I noticed that when I started refeeding on the Gerson diet with all of the juicing and like kind of like there's a lot of carbs in that diet, I noticed that my milk was no longer red, and even then I felt sensations in my breast that I make up that maybe the sugar was feeding the love bugs in my breast. I don't know if that's true or not. But what I decided to do was when I started heading home on my drive home, because I had to stop at Whole Foods markets every time there was this Whole Foods market, I stopped and hey, will you not talk too much? And so I started eating meat on the way home, a little bit of meat and a lot of fat. And basically now I did for like a couple of days, I transitioned into doing a high fat, low protein, low carbohydrate, high fat diet. And that's been great actually. So, yes, baby.
I want to go back in.
You want to go back in? Hold on, I gotta go open the door again. Come on, let's go back in. Quick. Thanks for your patience. 3-year-olds, they're the best. Anyways, so I transitioned into a high fat, low carbohydrate, kind of like low protein diet. When I say low protein, that's like low for like the average American because we eat these like huge steaks. But for me, one serving of protein is like the size of the palm of my hand in each meal. And so I've taken some pictures of some of the meals that I have. So like here's one right here. It's been really great. This is actually Brunschwager and salad, which is like a liverwurst. It's liver and beef. And I also had a bunch of fish. So like this is great. Like fish and salad, and everything I'm eating is organic. Oh look, here's this has a lot of stuff. This actually has, I don't know why it's doing that. Anyways, this actually has lamb. I had little lamb T-bone steaks or something, and then I had some kind of, maybe it was like oxtail that I had put in the crock pot with all of the spices that they put in that they use to make pho. So good, so delicious, by the way. But yeah, so oh yeah, and here's my crock pot right here. Is my crock pot. So yeah, so I've just been eating organic salads that I'm making, and I'm only using really like seasonally fresh vegetables. So instead of getting stuff from far away that's not really fresh or not really in season, I'm getting things that are like locally grown in season here, because I just think that that's like a little more divine, because right now like seasonally what should be being produced is bitter greens, because historically we would be coming off of like a ketogenic diet kind of throughout the winter, when then the first produce that comes about is being consumed, and that would be bitter greens and the things that are naturally being produced right now. So that's really great. And I'm just using for dressing for my salads, I'm like using like garlic and like a whole lemon juice and some vinegar, low sugar vinegar. And sometimes I'll put a little flax oil in that if my meat doesn't have a lot of oil in it. So, and I'm eating only wild caught fish, wild caught any kind of fish, scallops, shrimp, 100% grass-fed and grass-finished meat of any kind or whatever. So, yeah, so that's just been interesting and different. And honestly, I feel great. I lived this way for years, and it feels really good to me. However, I'm also doing a little bit of what Fred Evrard did. So Fred Evrard healed himself from breast cancer because he's of colon cancer because he's a baller, and he when he did his 3-week water fast, his tumor shrunk in half. Mine, however, is in the ducts of my breast, so it's hard to really find the quality of like whether mine is diminishing or not because of the characteristics of it being in the ducts, because it's not like some coagulated mass that can just shrink quite the same way. But I can feel it sometimes, and it feels like, more thickened or more hard or more soft or whatever, depending on what I'm doing. So what I started doing, today is actually Wednesday, and what I did is I fasted Saturday and Sunday. So last week, so I got home, I want to say like a week before that I got home, right? And I came into my life, which was great. I'm so grateful I did that. My daughter's on spring break this week, and I'm so grateful I got here the week before while she was in school, then the week of her being here on spring break. Oh my gosh, it was that was divine that I did it like that. But what I did was Friday night was my last meal, and then all day Saturday I went without food, and all day Sunday I went without food. I drank tea, which is not what I did on my water fast. During my water fast, I only drank water. But I allowed myself to drink tea on the weekend, or maybe even lemon water. But then I started eating again on Monday morning, and now it's Wednesday. And what I did as well when I did that was I used this thing called the Keto Mojo to test both my ketones and my glucose. And when I did that, I'm pulling it up on my phone right now. When I did that, it comes up with this like index of like what things should be or whatever. And so I'm just going to show you. So when I did that Monday morning, I did it Monday morning before eating, and my what's called the glucose ketone index, my GKI, was 0.3. I'm going to show you, 0.3. And what that means is that I am in the highest therapeutic level of ketosis that I can possibly be, which is very hard to achieve without medical supervision. Then when I started eating on Monday, so then I took it again on Tuesday morning before eating to see what it was. So it's like a fasted number, but it's it's going to be consistent because I'm going to take it every morning before I eat. So I did it on Tuesday, and everything went up, but it went up to 1. And basically below 1 is like medical grade, and then like anything between 1 and 3 is like therapeutic grade. Like you don't really need to be in doctor supervision to do that. So that's great. And then today my levels went up. Both my glucose and my ketones went up. I ate some stuff yesterday that I don't normally eat, like an avocado and some pecans. But my glucose and my ketones both went up. However, my GKI was still only 1. So I feel really good about that. By the way, this thing, the Keto Mojo, was super easy to use. By the way, I'm really frustrated because the doctors here, like everything is taking so long here. It's like, I don't know, like in Arizona, it was like, oh, you want to do some mistletoe? Here we go. Here, take some shots, do it, whatever. Like I didn't do it there. I didn't want to do it there. But I thought because I had set up all these doctor's appointments like 2 weeks before coming home that I would be able to like seamlessly get my care here. I still haven't gotten things that I need from the medical people here, from our appointments that we had weeks ago. So I'm just like, I still don't have a thing for a port. In Arizona, it was like, oh, you need a port? Here you go. Here's a referral. They faxed it over. The people called me. It was like, oh, when do you want to come and get in? Oh, by the way, your insurance to cover it. Like, no problem. But I didn't want to do that because I was like, I didn't want to have surgery, like not being at home or whatever. And I just made up it'd be just as easy at home. I still don't have my mistletoe. I still don't have like all these things. Like yesterday I had to go in, or Monday I had to go in and get like a little test prick of mistletoe, and then it's like on Thursday I'll be able to go back in and actually get my mistletoe, and but it's just like everything is just so, there's so many things that if you need help now, I would absolutely recommend that you go to Arizona, because once you sign all the paperwork and you get there as an established patient, like it's just like bada bing, bada boom, like they'll get you everything you need. There's like there's no red tape or administration to cut through, you, at least in my experience. So there's that. But I do, I took a small test dose of mistletoe the other day, and I'm planning, and I also started taking some supplements, like with like digestive enzymes and whatever, recently as well, because I've only been eating now for another like 2 or 3 weeks or something. So that being said, I haven't really done and by the way, there's like this stuff with the HBOT, the hyperbaric oxygen therapy. The ones here are like jokes, basically. I'm not even sure that they have oxygen coming in through the things. There's a couple of different places, and I don't know. There's one that's supposed to be medical grade, and that guy wants $295 a pop. And I'm just like, what? You want me to get paid $295 to get into your HBOT? When in Arizona, it was $150, And so it's just a different game here, Yeah, so it's really overwhelming for me. Like, I really wanted to, like, move into my self-care here, but it's not been happening. I have been going to the sauna every day, though, the regular sauna, not infrared, but the just regular sauna. And what I started off doing was trying to stay in as long as I could. But now what I'm doing is I'm getting out after about 20 to 30 minutes, and then I'm hopping in the cold shower. And then which is terrible, by the way. It sucks. And then after I get out of the cold shower, I get back in the sauna for about 15 minutes. And then I get back in the cold shower. So I do sauna, shower, whatever. So either way, life is what it is. And more now than ever in my entire life, I have to just take it one day at a time. And like, just for today, I'm not dying. And just for today, like, I need to be kind to my children and my husband. And I'm still meditating. I'm meditating every day. I'm doing yoga Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday mornings before I eat. And I'm going to try Saturdays and Sundays. My husband and I are going to start... My husband and I are going to start going to the hot spring on Saturdays. And then my daughter and I have been going to the hot spring on Tuesdays, the last couple of Tuesdays. And so it's just been great. Like, I just... I'm really appreciating the self-care that I'm giving myself. And again, maybe breast cancer will be the best thing that ever happened to me. Anyways, thank you guys for checking in. Talk to you later.